Hey everyone, and welcome! Today, we are journeying back in time to meet an incredible man whose story has inspired millions for thousands of years. This is the story of Abraham, a true hero of faith. In a bustling city called Ur, lived a man named Abraham. He wasn't a king or a great warrior, but he had something far more valuable, a deep and unwavering trust in God. One day, a voice, calm and clear, spoke to him. It was God, calling him to an adventure. "Abraham," God said, "leave your home, your family, and everything you know. Go to a new land that I will show you." Imagine that. Leaving everything familiar for a place you've never even seen. But Abraham didn't hesitate. He packed his belongings, gathered his wife, Sarah, and their family, and stepped out in faith, trusting that God would lead the way. Their journey into the unknown had begun. As they traveled, God made a breathtaking promise to Abraham. He looked up at the night sky, a vast blanket of glittering stars, and God told him, "Your descendants will be as numerous as these stars." But there was a catch. Abraham and Sarah were well into their old age, and they had no children. Year after year they held on to this promise, their hope never fading, even when it seemed impossible. Their home remained quiet, but their hearts remained full of faith. They trusted that the one who made the promise was able to fulfill it. And then, one miraculous day, their long wait was over. Laughter filled their home as God gave them a son. They named him Isaac, which means, "He laughs," a perfect name for the joy he brought. Abraham's heart overflowed with gratitude. He had seen God's faithfulness with his own eyes. The greatest test of Abraham's faith was yet to come. One day, God spoke to him again, with a command that must have shattered his heart. "Abraham," God said, "take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and offer him as a sacrifice on a mountain I will show you." Can you imagine the pain and confusion Abraham must have felt? Isaac was the promised child, the embodiment of all his hopes and dreams. It made no sense, yet even in his deep sorrow, Abraham's trust in God did not waver. He believed that God was good and just, even when he couldn't understand his plan. With a heavy heart, but a resolute spirit, he rose early the next morning. He prepared the wood for the offering, and with his beloved son Isaac, he began the long, silent walk toward the designated mountain. As they ascended the mountain path, the silence was broken by Isaac's innocent question. "Father," he asked, "we have the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the sacrifice?" Abraham's voice was gentle, filled with a trust that went beyond his understanding. "My son," he replied, "God himself will provide the lamb." When they reached the place God had shown them, Abraham built an altar. He carefully arranged the wood. With tears streaming down his face, he bound his precious son Isaac and laid him on the altar. He raised the knife, his hand trembling, ready to obey. At that very last second, a voice thundered from the heavens, "Abraham! Abraham! Stop! Do not harm the boy!" It was an angel of the Lord. Abraham looked up, his eyes filled with relief, and there, tangled in a nearby bush, was a ram. He quickly untied Isaac, and together they offered the ram that God had provided. God was deeply moved by Abraham's incredible display of faith and obedience. He blessed Abraham once more, reaffirming his promise. "Because you have done this," God declared, "and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you. Your descendants will be as countless as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore." Abraham's act of faith echoed through history, making him known as the father of faith for all future generations. His story became a powerful symbol of complete trust in God. So, what can we learn from Abraham's amazing journey? His life teaches us that faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting God even when the path is unclear, even when our hearts are breaking, and even when it seems impossible. Abraham's obedience shows us that when we put our trust in God, He will always provide a way. He is faithful to His promises. Remember, with true faith, nothing is truly impossible.